Where's my Dota? There it is. Sorry, guys. It always takes a little bit. As the first time I switched to this scene upon opening Dota, it takes a little while. But guys, welcome back to GESC. This is going to be for the GESC Thailand, even though the Indonesia overlay is what's on there. It's the only one they gave me. It's not my fault. We've still got an NA qualifier. We're going to have Digital Chaos, or at least most of Digital Chaos, taking on OpTic. The GJ Storm and Complexity are also in this qualifier. They're going to be playing next, and it's just going to be a nice, simple double bracket format. So loser of this, not the end of the world for them, but take note, OpTic don't have a lot of reserve time. They were very late because PyCat was off doing something. I have no idea what, but he's here right now, but OpTic are going to be a little bit rushed. Also, take note, we do have a stand-in on a Digital Chaos. Everyone on OpTic is here. We got Flea. Moon is not here, obviously. I don't know why. But Flea is definitely a quality player. The issue is, I'm pretty sure the last couple times Flea has been on a team, he has been on the team as in a support capacity. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that situation there. Because, well, I mean, you definitely have Moon Meander's, some pretty big shoes to fill there, but AUI has played like every single role. We've seen, I believe, Ritsu's always in the same role, it seems. I think Brile kind of plays a little bit of mixed, but I'm not sure. Either way, we're going to have a stand-in, so that's going to be, just fine. And let's see what's going on with this draft. The supports are getting the hard ban out here from OpTic and from DC. I mean, there are really powerful heroes still in the pool. We've got Naga Siren, we've got Omni Knight, Tiny is probably the big one. I don't know if it's the biggest one, but definitely up there. I said Tiny already, but Elder Titan, the Witch Doctor, and of course that Gyrocopter. That's probably going to be the easiest ban to make there. But yeah, because of these bans on perhaps slightly more uncommon support heroes, or rather more uncommon first ban heroes, man, we got a really, really powerful pool of heroes still in this. So we'll see what OpTic decide to prioritize here. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Like, you can go for a Bane and just be very safe about it. You can go for a Tiny and probably you'll get just about the same amount of safety. Or you can get the Naga Siren, or, Chen. Oh, you can get the Chen also. That is not, admittedly not a hero that is, like, in my mind as, like, oh my god, he's a nuts hero. But when I see him, then it's like, oh my god, he's a nuts hero, because it's actually picked up. And OpTic just ran a freaking train in the last time I saw them with the Chen. PPD Chen, definitely a thing to be feared. So grabbing this hero first, and if you're going to pick up a Chen, like, as the first pick with all these powerful heroes in the pool, usually you're feeling pretty good about it. Like, what are some of the other heroes that I mentioned as far as heroes that are good to pick up very early on? The Omni Knight probably has the best matchup versus Chen, but even then, getting that troll net and just getting all those creeps to body block him, you still can get those kills. Naga Siren support, killable. All these extra supports, very killable by Chen. Tiny is definitely a tough nut to crack, but Chen, because he has so many creeps and because Tiny has such low armor, you will be able to do very, very cost-effective damage to him. Maybe not kill him all the time, but it's very cost-effective damage nonetheless. So I like this opening for OpTic, and I like this response here from DC. They'll first pick the Witch Doctor along with that Death Prophet, but I really like taking out the Death Prophet here from OpTic's potential pool of heroes. It's just perfectly fine for what DC have. It's a very difficult hero to gank as a Chen, with those siphons just being such a persistent healing threat. And of course, Witch Doctor as the pick is fantastic up against Chen. Probably the best support in response to a Chen. I want to say it's probably the best one. At least no better one comes to mind. But the Death Prophet and Witch Doctor are two heroes that OpTic would have otherwise loved to pick up, especially that DP. So they pick up heroes that are good against Chen and good with Chen. So it's kind of double duty there for the DC side. So I absolutely love that response to the Chen, but OpTic going to go ahead and grab the Tiny, because again, there are just so many powerful heroes in this pool, Tiny being probably one of the biggest ones. Eyes up for Omni Knight. Naga Siren looking like a possibility here for DC, although not really like the strongest combo yet to be set up. Still definitely with a lot of potential there, just being able to siphon someone that's not moving because of ensnare. That's usually a pretty good deal. looking a little bit weaker on the OpTic side of things if they decide to go for that. But still, for sure, a definite possibility. Going for the Tiny instead, I wonder where this guy is actually going to end up. If it's going to be Pycat's hero, if it's going to be in the off-lane capacity. It's strong really no matter what. It usually is going to be shuffled around just a little bit depending on what kind of lane matchup you expect in those lanes. If you're up against a low range, kind of low damage hero, then going into the off lane is usually going to be you getting unpunished, which is fantastic. Right now, of course, they don't know who that hero is going to be. They don't know who that core is going to be, but we very frequently see, or we have seen in the past, Tiny go up against heroes like Gyrocopter, who just, they have no way of competing with Tiny's base damage. If you're up against a melee core, they will just get absolutely smashed because I don't care how much damage you do, it's not going to be more than the Tiny. There are some situations where a hero has a slightly better or worse matchup, but for the most part, Tiny is going to reign supreme. The Phantom Lancer is going to be kicked out along with that SF, and OpTic take out the Tusk. Floor position for DC. Clockwork is like the only one who's still in the pool, it looks like, except for that Naga Siren. So that's probably going to be, if they really are scared of those heroes, I mean, they could handle them pretty well with the Chen. So I don't really think that's an absolute necessity. They'll take out the TB instead. We've been seeing this a lot. Even if there was no Death Prophet on DC's side already, getting rid of that Terrorblade just, it's such a problem hero. Like, there are like weaknesses of Terrorblade, but his strengths of being powerful throughout the entirety of the game is just like such a hurdle to jump over. It's such a pain in the ass. It's the easiest way to take care of him is just by banning him out, honestly. And then DC throw a little bit of a curveball. I think my audio's, hold on guys, I'm going to drop my audio just a little bit here. It looks a little bit too loud. Hopefully you guys can still hear it. If it's not perfect, then let me know. I think my opening of the menu glitched out DC's draft there. They'll go for the Doom, which is pretty interesting. Doom is not going to be an all-star or anything like that versus the Tiny, although it's not like terrible. It's another hero that is going to be really nice up against the Chen. So now they have two. In the Witch Doctor being able to chain stun Chen's Goon Squad and Doom, who will feel free to just chow down on whoever the Chen is going to be ganking him with. It's also just really difficult to kill off a Doom, period. Like, he has, much like Tiny, a lot of HP, not much armor, but it's just a lot of HP to grind through with a lot of regeneration. OpTic now going to go for the Coddle. Ooh, this is looking like a really aggressive mid-game timing all of a sudden from the OpTic side, as Coddle Chen is a very, very lightweight support duo. Of course, Chen can do a lot of heavy lifting despite being a, at least from my point of view, quote-unquote lightweight hero because of those neutral creeps, but you're not really going to have all that much brawling coming out from these heroes in and of themselves. Keeper of the Light really doesn't want to get into engagements. He can combo pretty well with certain allies like Avalanche after having set up a couple seconds of Illuminate. Can do a lot of damage. Not always going to be enough to get the kill because they really don't have that many great ways of getting those killing blows outside of just sheer and utter burst. And you're looking at DC's draft. Witch Doctor is burstable. Doom, Death Prophet, not necessarily so. OpTic are currently working with a lot of magic damage, so Doom and DP, both heroes that are maybe not happy to go for Hood and Pipe, but will be willing to go for that. Definitely is going to be very powerful up against this Keeper of the Light. But for right now, the game plan of OpTic is pretty clear here. They're going to go in once they have that Aghanim Scepter Coddle, and with the Chen heal, with the Coddle heal, it's going to be so hard to hold that for DC. Their high ground defense with this three hero opening is very, very lackluster. DP has Crypt Swarm, but that's not going to do it all the time. Chen and Tiny can destroy towers like nobody's business, so DC, they'll just go for the Lifestealer. Really do appreciate this pick. Again, lots of magic damage coming out from OpTic, so Rage is pretty good against magic. Also a hero that, again, will make Chen's life a little bit difficult. There are situations where you rage up, try to kill someone, and then the troll jumps in there with the net. The Chen's troll jumps in there with a net, and that is, of course, very annoying, but there's no way to play around that, really, ever. Getting this Radiance carrier, that timing might not be perfect, but, oh man. Yeah, OpTic are going really aggressively towards this strat with this Visage pick now. Again, it's not really a hero that is going to be like smashing the Lifestealer or anything like that, but it's going to be working really well once OpTic decide to ball up. Then the Death Ball is going to be coming for real. should probably still be looking for 33's hero. I feel like OpTic usually pick 33's hero a little bit earlier, though, so it might be the Tiny for the off lane for 33. Up against the Lifestealer, you do get hit pretty hard from the Feast, but you will be able to CS normally pretty decently. And I feel like most of the time OpTic usually like last pick Pycat's hero. I don't know. I don't like really keep track of that a lot. Because usually like if you jump into a game of Dota that's underway, odds are it's going to be in the middle of the game. You don't have a draft order there. But yeah, it seems that they seem to think that Pycat's hero is still lacking. And I'm inclined to agree with them as DC do ban out that Morphling. OpTic's scaling is going to be not terrible. Visage and Tiny definitely... No, not completely useless heroes, but DC are looking like they're a little bit more powerful in that regard.
10 seconds.
We'll see how much aggression they want to put up in this early phase. And Tiny going into the off lane has a chance of definitely having a little bit of a difficult time. And OpTic have no time left. They'll take out the Brewmaster, expecting that support, the kind of 4-position supporty Doom, whatever you want to call it. And OpTic only 20 seconds left to make their decision. Again, should be Pycat's hero. Options for later game scaling. PL is usually the hero you want to grab if you were going to go for that. Obviously not really a possibility here. If they go for something like a Luna, that is extremely all-in for OpTic. I think they're powerful enough to make that work, but they are going to go for the Troll. That's not quite all-in. Not quite as all-in as the Luna. Troll definitely can put up a decent fight in the late game, especially when you're talking about like man-fighting some of these other cores. Versus Lifestealer, you have the advantage of Bash, and that is such a huge advantage. But yeah, the big thing is that he will be able to pop those towers very early on and enable his teammates to do the same just by virtue of having that battle trance and fervor. So DC know that that aggressive plan is going to be coming towards them. 15 seconds left to kind of shore up these lanes. Also, keep note, guys, ban the Brewmaster, pick the Troll Warlord. You gotta look out for those kind of sequencing picks right there. Is that Brewmaster otherwise, just with the point-click haze and Troll, and to some extent the Tiny as well, like that is how you shut him down. That is how you say it. Give Troll Warlord a gigantic middle finger. Alright, hopefully this is the right overlay. It's been a little bit since I've... it's close enough. It's close enough. Guys, it's gonna be a Flea Batrider for the DC side. So it looks like they're just going to have Flea take towards that off lane. As far as Batrider is concerned, it is looking like a pretty decent setup for him. There is no quick purge or anything like that from the OpTic cores or from anyone, really. So the Batrider isn't going to have to worry about that. As far as dealing with the Batrider, Coddle's really not the hero you want to have. Troll Warlord's really not the hero you want to have. Again, because if you're going to go in for the Batrider, you run the risk of getting too much napalm stacked up on you. And the burst style from OpTic, at least as far as the Coddle and the Troll Warlord are concerned, that's not good enough to very effectively deal with the Batrider. You have to kind of grind him down beforehand, and that takes a lot of time. So it is going to be up to PPD's rotations. It seems like it always kind of is whenever you pick up a Chen. So this Batrider is in a really premium position in this game. That's going to be difficult for OpTic to deal with. They do push towers really easily, but the style at which they push towers is going to be Tiny Troll in the front lines. And again, because they don't have any way of saving any of those heroes except for a quick send back, which is very defensive. If they do get hit with the lasso, that's going to be a forced fight every single time, with OpTic not having any way of really disengaging. Yeah, okay, we were waiting for a long time, so they're going to the bathroom. I love it. I love it. Alright, well, Peter ain't here anyway. Pycat was a little bit late to the lobby. So I'm really liking this this Batrider game for the DC side. Overall, however, the question still remains, OpTic are going for this really aggressive mid-game timing. DC are going to be more so on the defensive side of things. Can they actually hold? And I think the answer is, unless Chen gets like nuts out of control, I think the answer should be yes. I think DC have a good enough fighting draft early on so that they're not going to get completely run over. Now things are going to get a lot more difficult once OpTic really hit their kind of secondary power spike, that being the Coddle going for that Aghanim Scepter. Once that's up, then things get pretty bad. That's going to be really difficult to defend against. Blinding Light is going to be really annoying for DC to deal with because they do have heroes. Lifestealer, if he gets blinded without rage or anything like that, he's really sad. Batrider, Blinding Light, messing with his positioning. Same thing for Death Prophet. Is going to shut them down offensively, of course. But having the heals, having the vision up against the Batrider, that's premium. If you see a Batrider coming, like, even though you may not have the best answers for the Batrider lasso, you can actually still do something about it. Again, it's going to be a lot of Chen action. This hero is... I don't know if he's, like, broken. It's just the fact that early game in Dota is so much more important than late game. And that's, like, the same thing for every single game in existence. Like, if you do well early, you're probably going to do well late because that just makes sense. That's usually just how games are designed. And having this hero that's, like, such a huge early game powerhouse, like, it's definitely hard to find that sweet spot for Chen where, he's going to be a sometimes pick. Because right now, if you pick up a Chen, you can go for those strats, and there's no, like, easy point-click counter. I would say DC have some of the best ones, like Witch Doctor, the Doom. These are really great heroes to have versus that Chen, but even then, he still is going to just play so aggressively into your jungle and really limit your options as far as movement are concerned. Because if you run into a Chen, you're not going to beat him, man. Like, unless he doesn't have any creeps there for whatever reason. Pycat going to go down towards that bottom lane. Looks like CCNC will take the Visage. Man, it's so weird to see Visage going mid nowadays. Like, I know it's good. I've seen it just absolutely rock everyone. But it's just weird, man. Like, this hero used to be a strict support hero, and now he's soloing mid. Like, what kind of day and age are we living in right now? Grave Chill is kind of silly, because duration starting at 3.25 and going up to 7 with 3 seconds of downtime, like, holy crap. That is some serious crowd control. That used to be like what you pick Venomancer for, and now clearly you don't need to. Looks like it's going to be an easy 2-2 Bounty Rune split, and the lanes are looking pretty much as normal as you would expect. Doom going to be chilling up on this top lane for a little while, and there is no blockage of these camps right here, so he's going to have a decent selection of creeps. AUI, of course, crossing his fingers for some of the more aggressive ones. Even if you just pick up like a little bit of extra armor, a little bit of an aura, doesn't even have to be a huge one. The Hellbear aura is like, what, 15 attack speed? Like, that's sometimes all you need. Dude, is he seriously hiding behind that tree? Doom is so stealthy. He's actually not going to go for the Devour level 1. He's going to just spam that Infernal Blade. It's a pretty darn effective, cost-effective damage tool. It's very, very cheap, just being only 40 mana. Cooldown is pretty long, but if you are able to hit on someone who's as health bulky as Tiny, like 840 HP, having a tool that does percentage-based damage, that's some pretty good times for the Doom. Over in bot land in the meantime, this Troll Warlord getting a little bit of help from the Chen, who currently has really no creeps to select from. Nothing useful there. The Troll's all the way over there, but all the other creeps, they're kind of garbo. He'll grab the Ghost. It's going to be very annoying because of that Frost attack. Like, you could really just put a lot of persistent harassment in, but other than that, man, Ghost being perma-stunned forever from the cask is now going to have a chance to hit Stand King, and this is, of course, letting the Chen right-click as well. Underestimating the power of these spooky ghosts. Now up against two heroes, that might be a little bit too much. This Ghost he's trying his best, man. He is trying his best, and it looks like he will get cast one more time. Bounces over to PPD, man. That is some trick-shotting from that Witch Doctor. And now there's these stupid Fell Spirits. They're so dumb, I don't even know what they're called, man. Like, they're just completely and utterly useless. Stand King is just going to keep blocking this. Sentry did unblock this camp, I believe. I'm not sure if it was blocked beforehand, but making sure that this Chen has no options. PPD's still going to grab a Haste Rune, and he is going to be rewarded by one of the best creeps, if not the best creep at this stage, for finding that Dark Troll Summoner. But that's about all he's going to find in this jungle, and even over here, it's like only there's a Hellbear Smasher. It's not really the best. Over in the mid lane, the Visage, He really just gets kills by right-clicking people, and it's going to be pretty tough to kill off a Death Prophet strictly through those means. So rotation towards the mid lane, really, really difficult for the Chen. Unless there's another hero coming in, and who's that going to be? I don't really know. Like, it's pretty much only the Chen on the roam, which is the downside of picking up a Keeper of the Light. He's inherently not going to be a very aggressive roamer. Even, like, as a rotation support defensively, he's not that great. He kind of just wants to camp out in a lane and just slowly get gold. And experience, of course. Experience kind of leads to gold for the Keeper of the Light. As of right now, it is going to be DC slightly winning in the CS department. Not to any huge degree, although this is somewhat of a problem. Bryle is doing a fantastic job up against CCNC so far. This is okay for the Visage. Like, he would obviously rather be winning this lane, but this hero hits such a huge power spike once he gets that level 6, that even if you're a little bit behind, as long as you're getting experience and not dying, which currently he is, you can still make it up by getting those familiars and then just destroying everyone with those things afterwards. Again, not the end of the world for him. Although, perhaps slightly less than ideal, being doubled up in CS by Bryle. Pycat's doing just fine in this bottom lane as well, still slightly behind that Lifestealer. But OpTic being slightly behind, again, is not the end of the world. Ooh, they get a lucky bash. Ritsu taking quite a bit of damage, but he is able to kill off that troll, taking a lot of extra range right clicks, and the penitence from PPD maybe comes out a little bit too late there. Salve Tango will get himself back up to a high amount of HP. And hey, look at that. They failed to block the camp that one time, and then a Centaur spawns. That's what they want to see. This is, however, what they don't want to see. Pycat gonna get hit with that cast, will bounce back to him, does get the blind out, so you can see Ritsu immediately missing that one shot. What the PPD micro? That was an uncharacteristic micro mistake from PPD. That stomp was nowhere close to anybody. But they do save Pycat, and that's really all that's important right now. He's gonna get sent back to the base, and he will come back with boots and a little bit of Aquila components, it looks like. Siphon taken away at CCNC, does still have those Gravekeeper cloak charges. Doom going to hit with a shockwave, one more. AoE spell from Bryle, that swarm shockwave combo is a lot of damage. And they did take out a lot of those Gravekeeper cloak charges, just slowly over time. So CCNC going to be the victim of First Blood. Nice little rotation there from the Doom, and at this point, level 3 can pretty aggressively just run at anyone. To some extent, dive towers. The low armor is going to be a concern, but he does have that regen from the troll. No, that's not a troll. Satyr, the purple Satyr, whatever it's called. Soul Stealer? So, no, it's a Satyr Tormentor. Soul Stealer's the mana burn one, I think. I don't know. They all look the same. Is that racist? I think that might be racist against Satyrs. Over the bottom lane, Centaur getting stunned for a million years. Gets the stomp off, but it's rage dodged by Ritsu. Still not going to save Sand King, as he's going to be put into the dumpster by Pycat afterwards. PPD is going to kind of hand-deliver a creep there, which is always somewhat of a cost, but there's no way to micro against that. Again, the cask is such a great tool. You can see Hero Stun Duration 1, which is what you usually see, but Creep Stun Duration is 5. And the Chen obviously uses creeps, so you get 5-second stuns. The Chen just can't do anything about that. Like, once you take that cask hit, it's something you got to absorb. Rotation from the back, though, AUI. Still level 3. There is a Wild Wing here. A little bit of extra armor, perhaps. Not really going to do them a ton of favors, since AUI is just such in a great position. Now, here comes the Siphon, and the Maledict, and even the Exorcism. Gravekeeper's Cloak is good. Is it that good? No, not quite. And again, it's an easy rotation onto that mid lane. Bryle using the rest of these ghosts to go straight towards that tower. Zai is here to try to push this back, but the fortification keeps the wave alive. Man, it's something that people were talking about when that change was added. It's like, wow, you could just fortify for the push, but no one really does that. Usually it's just fortification to keep your towers alive. Bot is taking quite a bit of damage, so maybe they were, first and foremost, trying to fortify to keep this tower from taking too much damage, but that saved that push for a couple more seconds. How much damage? Let's say it added, probably another like 300 damage that they were able to add to the tower because of that fortification usage. Smart moves from DC. In the meantime, Ritsu is going to rotate up towards top, flee towards bottom lane. And this is not something that Pycat's really happy to see. Troll Warlord with this napalm on him is unhappy times. Tiny at this point still would be able to move forward, occasionally get CS. He may not know that there are a lot of heroes on this top lane, though. He will soon know. He's going to run to Sand King. How did he get vision there? That did not look like that was going to work out. Just tosses that life stealer back. Ritsu does not decide to rage. And yeah, now 33 is kind of under the gun. This is going to let Pycat recover in farm just slightly. But honestly, I don't think this is really going to be that much of a cost to DC. Like, they still will probably be able to keep these heroes getting experience and gold and whatnot. Oh, the Flea, runs into the wrong neighborhood. He's going to try to fly away, but the familiars can also fly, dude. That Grave Chill, man, lasts frickin' forever. It's not even maxed out at this point, but he was slowed the entire time. And that's the power spike that I'm talking about. That's what Visage can kind of do. AUI now in a little bit of trouble. Battle Trance used it. Ooh, yeah. I missed a little bit of that, but you guys can imagine what happened there. It's a 0 armor hero. I guess 1 armor with the Tranquil Boots. Just getting run down by a pure physical beast with phase boots. Not easy to escape from. Pycat is going to go for that Battle Fury, and ooh, maybe not. He's going to go for the Shadow Blade. I don't mind either of those builds. I feel like for Troll Warlord, they're both powerful enough you can get that, and even if it's maybe not the best build, the quote-unquote best build, like you can still kind of make use of it. This is definitely the more aggressively slanted build, being consistent with OpTic's timing that they want to hit in the mid game. Got to keep looking at Zai's farm though. Right now, he's not doing terribly. He's actually nipping at the heels of Flea's Bat Rider. And he's looking to maybe just steal a little bit of experience from Bryle. Quick hero, this Keeper of the Light, so he's able to very easily get out of distance and stay out of distance, although he is going to have to converge on this bottom lane. This is a little bit of a skeleton crew here from OpTic, going this hard onto a tier 2 tower. And they are going to fall back. Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's a little bit too risky for OpTic. If you have the Aghanim Scepter on Coddle, man, you go for that, but clearly they don't. It's only 9 minutes in the game. They try to play around CCNC's familiars a little bit. We can see Chen, because this tier 1 tower has already been brought down, all of this space as they go for top lane onto 33. Does get the avalanche toss onto Ritsu. Lots of damage with the infest. Will keep Ritsu alive and at the same time kill off 33. But yeah, this entire area of the map is kind of open for PPD to wander around freely in. And that of course means ganking the mid lane is all the more easy.
Is under attack.
Go for my master.
And now that CCNC, of course, has those familiars, he's actually able to contribute somewhat to those ganks. So, Pycat, he's silenced, but he did get the Whirling Axes off beforehand, just trying to farm. Into the Shrine, actually, the miss from AUI, hit with the Penitence now, as he's completely surrounded by the familiars, gets bowled over by the horses of Zai. That was, I mean, even if they landed the Infernal Blade, just not quite enough hard control in order to kill off that troll before he gets to the Shrine, so they will be able to save the Troll Warlord, turn around, get a kill, and hey, maybe get a second kill. Stan King hit with the Penitence. Look at these familiars go, dude. There's a medallion floating around here somewhere, it looks like. Is it CCNC's? Yeah, it's CCNC's medallion, so these familiars do 30 flat. Let's say it's like 40? I don't know. Is that about how the armor works out? Oh shit, 33 kills off Ritsu by himself? I mean, this is like the important thing that's going on, but if you're getting bonus kills in the meantime, that's all good, man, Flea. Gonna start laying down some napalm. Oh, Roshan dropping lower and lower. Flame break back. Bash onto Pycat, and Flea snatches the Aegis. Oh, the RNG screws over OpTic so hard. Now Bryle's gonna come in with the Firefly overhead still. PPD on the run as AUI is right on his tail. Lands the clap from the Hellbear, and with a couple more swipes, should be able to get this kill. Infernal Blade. I think he's just dead, and oh my god. I don't know if that was pure RNG or pure godlike play from Flea or both at the same time. We saw right before Roshan was dropping, the last hit before he died was a bash onto Pycat. And you can see immediately he's gonna go away from that Shadow Blade into the Battle Fury. Oh, that sucks so hard. Like, they do get the Roshan kill, so they get some experience, they get some gold. It's not all bad. It's just mostly bad because they just lose 3 heroes. And Flea gets away with that Aegis. Having the Bat Rider with Aegis is not incredibly important here for DC. Like, you can take it or leave it. It's the fact that there is no Aegis on Pycat. If OpTic were able to get away with that play cleanly, then you could bet they would be right here, right now, starting to take down these towers. But they're not. They don't have that safety, so they're going to just have to sit back and wait for a little while. So DC, off of that move, effectively gave them another, let's say 3 to 4 minutes at least of effective time in their draft. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking about Chen pushes, it is going to add up a lot. Doom goes off on the Tiny as the Death Ward goes on a PPD. He is for sure going to die, but it looks like he will save Tiny. Gets evac'd out of there. Chen life, man. That is just the Chen life. Bryle, ooh, taking a lot of damage from those familiars, but not quite enough juice there from CCNC. See, Zai's gonna yank 33 right back on the map, man. They could send him back and then yank him out. That is just like... That's kind of like borderline abusive, man. Like, any single hero you send back, you could immediately start using the callback, what is it, recall, on them, and then they'll like hit the tower, hit the fountain, get that fountain regen, get yanked right back on the map. Fountain regen persists. Like, Boots of Travel? What the hell is, what is Boots of Travel? I don't know what those are. You don't need them in this game. Wherever you want to go, you will be able to get to. And you can see Zai, he's working towards that Aghanim Scepter, already halfway there. Again, net worth right behind Flea. This is a really, really good spot for a Coddle to be in. And even though it's still not OpTic hitting their perfect timings, thanks to that Roshan play, they can still play pretty consistently and stick to their game plan. They are going to see Flea over in the bottom lane, but that Aegis means that he is presenting himself as a potential kill, but if you're going to kill him twice, you're going to have to work really hard for it. And I'm not really sure if OpTic really want to work that hard for just a Bat Rider, especially so close to a tier 2 tower. They're going to smoke up now. This was not spotted by anyone, though. PPD will eventually see this. 33 as well will blink out straight. A couple of creeps getting caught up in the back as Fleet has had the blink dagger with a lifestealer in tow. 33 is going to see him, get sent back to the base. PPD probably going to die right now. Although the stun is going to keep Flea at arm's length. There's no way. Sorry, PPD. You tried your best, you saved your tiny, and for that, OpTic salute you. In the meantime, though, Pycat is going to town on this top tower. Got 33 still on top lane. Got there immediately because I'm pretty sure that's where Zai was, so got yanked right back out of that fountain. And towers will take a little bit of pressure.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Is my stream lagging, guys? There's a lot of people who just say streams are lagging, even though it's not. It looks perfectly smooth on my screen. So I don't know if I should take you guys seriously at this stage. Guys, it is just a stand-in for Moon. Flea is simply standing in. I am 90% sure that Moon is still on DC. Although I have no clue. It seems like he still is. Exorcism used on the bottom lane, and it should be able to clean this out pretty quickly. At the same time, we have a push on top and mid. Tower for tower so far as Bryle's going to start charging forward. Does have the Yule Scepter, got Flea overhead as well. Is going to go ahead and grab Zai. Should be a pretty easy pickup on the Coddle, and oh, that was close. It looked like Aoi was using Doom there. He didn't, so that would have been a big mistake. I don't really know why he would even do that. But he doesn't do it, so it's all good. 33 now going to get tagged with that Napalm. Straight TP out. There is a cast, but it's a little bit too far away. Yule Scepter was on cooldown, so it will get out of there. Now CCNC going to arrive with those birds. Cast going to go all over the place, though. Yule Scepter keeping him in place. Doom now has a chance to use his ultimate if he even needs to. Death Ward is going to start shredding him. And CCNC just wanders in to die. They are looking to set up on Ritsu, perhaps, on this top lane. And he's just going to jump into a creep, one of these melee ones here. And unfortunately, if PPD was able to grab that right creep, that could have been a nice turnaround. Pycat TPing out, and it looks like it will be canceled. Stomp still lands, but he's in a really compromised spot right now, and yeah, PPD also not looking too hot. He's going to be chased out by the Death Prophet. Pycat's going to have to just turn and fight in the corner. Double kill for Bryle. Just look at this build from the DP. I love this build. Early game fighting is what you are expecting if you're looking at OpTic. And this build from the DP, getting the Yule Scepter for safety, and of course setup, again getting the Solar Crest, it enables the Lifestealer a lot, which means that with this kind of build on Lifestealer, nowadays they usually go towards this Radiance. It's a lot of downtime where Lifestealer isn't really incredibly useful because he's got like 3-4k tied up in gold. But because you have the Solar Crest, you make him more useful. And on top of that, if you have the Exorcism out, it does physical damage. Those ghosts will absolutely shred whoever you apply that shine to. Really, really potent item on the Death Prophet, and also it's dirt cheap. Zai is pretty screwed here. He does have 3/4, even more than that, towards his Aghanim Scepter. But at this point, the OpTic Gaming side are starting to fall just a little bit behind. Even though they do have this really powerful timing once the Aghanim Scepter does come up on the Coddle, we're looking at an almost 10k net worth Death Prophet. Going for that Blink Dagger. Lifestealer is at his relic. Is that full Radiance, actually? That is not. Still need that recipe. I don't know why it wasn't in the quick buy. He's just trying to debate me. But he will have the Radiant soon enough. So OpTic, even though they will still probably stick to this plan, I'm not really sure if this is going to be quite as devastating as they would really like. As far as late game kind of alternatives, backup plans, Pycat does have that Battle Fury complete whenever this courier gets out there. We also have a Tiny on the field who Blink Dagger so far has been, I want to say, just not used yet, but he's going to go for the Blink Dagger Shadow Blade, and a late game Tiny is certainly a threat. Plus the fact that they have a Coddle means that they can play this kind of split push game. So OpTic Gaming's late game power, definitely not to be underestimated. They would still rather go for this early game power play though. CCNC Helmet Dominator is going to go for Medallion, most likely Solar as his next item. But they're just waiting for Zai right now. Just a little bit of extra dough until he gets that Aghanim Scepter. In that time though, we got some nice items coming up in DC. Blink Dagger and Bat Rider, that's really all you need. Got drums on AUI. Again, just being able to straight run at the opposition really helps out Ritsu again. A Lifestealer who currently doesn't have that much threat, but will in just a little bit of gold. And Zai looks like Smoke still maintained. Flea pushing him though. Jump right in, grab the Coddle. And with Stan King and AUI here, Death Ward on Zai. Death Ward still channeled. Easy kill. Ownage streak continues. By the way, PBD has had a lot of Centaurs. Let's have a couple fewer though. The healthy one gets eaten. The other one gets obliterated. Stan King is in a really bad spot on this bottom lane. Like in a really bad spot. I'm not really sure about that one, AUI. That's a little bit aggressive, although it looks like he has backup coming in from behind as Bryle is going to charge forward. Just looking to cancel some TPs perhaps. 33 left alone. Tosses the Death Prophet away, then TPs out. Okay, that's style right there. That is going to let them know. Oh no, he actually got canceled! Oh, the Doom came in just in the nick of time. I thought he was free and clear. AUI was there. That is going to be a ward timed out, actually. So maybe they end up wasting a sentry there, but they lose 33 to get a Witch Doctor and a Witch Doctor only. Not a good trade. Man, that looked like he was fine. I thought he was out of there. Guess not. And now OpTic are in a kind of an awkward spot. They have to, I think, change their game plan a little bit. Again, as much as you would like to make huge power plays, it is unfortunately nighttime. So it's like the actual worst timing to get the Aghanim Scepter. Feels bad, man. Still it'll work in 4 minutes again. Once they get that, having that flying vision, or whatever it's called, vision, unobstructed vision. It's, you know, you guys know, the Aghanim Scepter vision on the Coddle. I don't know what the official designation is. You get a lot of vision around yourself. I'm pretty sure you can call it flying vision and people know what you're talking about. Get that versus the Bat Rider. And of course, it isn't going to keep you safe all the time if you don't have an appropriate response. But seeing the Bat Rider coming, that's like half the battle. Unfortunately, right now, Keeper of the Light is not working with that much light, as it is nighttime. And the fight is coming to him. Flea Stan King leading the charge right now. Zai is going to hit with the lasso. Ritsu's going to pop out. That's a dead Coddle. Although Stan King in the back is getting torn apart by the Familiars. Will go down. Now the focus goes on to CCNC. He's getting lifted out of his TP. Zai is still alive somehow as the Hand of God does come in. He will be brought down eventually. The Siphon onto Visage. Should be able to kill him off as well. With that Radiance Burn ticking away. Here comes Pycat jumping straight onto Flea. Never lucky with the bashes, but 33 comes in as well with the Avalanche. Gets the kill. As PPD is somehow still alive. Lands penitence onto AUI. Will go down to the dots of AUI, but should be able to make it a trade. A 3-for-3 trade, in fact. And that is a very even trade. Should be a slight win for OpTic. Yeah, 500, 600 gold in advantage there. Lots of experience gained. Nice for both sides, but a slight win for OpTic. Not really going to be anything to write home about. Oh my god, he's opening the wounds of a siege creep. How does that work? I have no idea. These things look pretty mechanical to me, but I don't know, you make them bleed. It works, man. It just works. That's going to be a fine exchange for DC. If they take even exchanges at this point in the game, then it's going to make it just a little bit easier to take the next one. Again, it's all about stalling away from OpTic's push. At this point, OpTic can probably still rally around the Coddle in daytime in another 2 minutes and get a couple of these tier 2 towers down, or at least get some very cost-effective damage in, but it's not going to be a death blow move, or it shouldn't be a death blow move. Yes, guys, this is a best of 3. You can tell from the little ticks up here. They're both empty. This is just game 1. And guys, I'm pretty sure Flea is just standing in, so don't worry. Don't worry if you're a Moon fan out there. I wouldn't be worried. Sometimes real life is a bitch, man. Go into Roche now. Solar Crest and Medallion. Different items technically, so the effects do stack. And with the ghosts, yeah, this Roche is going to be absolutely shredded. You can see OpTic. They are making like an appropriately aggressive move. Getting some very deep vision down, trying to get some eyes on to these DC heroes, but Roshan just drops way too quickly. And now we got that Flea Bat Rider with, of course, Lifestealer in tow, who's going to go for a Solar Crest of his own, so sticking to his build, even though they do have a Solar Crest on the team already. Solar Crest is one of those items that's like you consider a support aura item, like Mechanism or something like that, but it's okay to get several of them. You just put them on different people, and they don't really have any pure aura effects. 33. May run into Flea. This is an empty Bat Rider right now. And, well, that was not quite the combo he was looking for. He tried his best. What was that cask bounce? How did that happen? But end result, she's in the Death Prophet. She is damn difficult to kill. Completing the Octarine as well. Jeez. Even with Soul Booster, she's really, really hard to kill. But now you gotta grind through 1800 HP worth of Spell Vamp Hero with Cheese. Lifestealer has the Aegis, and he's gonna go for that S and Y next. Oh man, this is going to be really tough for OpTic to break through, but they are doing really, really well in the farm department, namely because of this Keeper of the Light. Again, as Keeper of the Light, you kind of just end up getting a lot of gold, and Zai's been playing this pretty well to keep himself competitive in the farm department. These side support items will definitely add up. If you compare them to like what AUI can get, it's going to go for a Crimson, which is definitely not bad, but the Coddle's going to be working with, in general, higher impact support items. And you never know. It may or may not turn the tide. Flea chasing after that Chen, but Chen he's on a mount. I guess Bat Rider's on a mount too. It's pretty quick to get out of there. What does CCNC have? Oh, he's got a third familiar. Does anyone else think it's stupid you have to cast summon familiars again to get your third familiar? I think that's pretty dumb. I think as a Visage, if you get the Aghanim Scepter, you should automatically get that third familiar, no matter what. It should just pop up as like a third familiar right in front of you. Is that imbalanced? I don't know. Maybe? There's a chance? Doesn't seem that crazy. I mean, it's not like Visage needs any more buffs. Although that's like such a small change. I don't even know if I would consider that a buff. He now has the 3 familiars. They're only level 2 right now. Probably next summon might get them to level 3, and that's a lot of scaling damage on those familiars. But Ryle's got the ghosts, and his ghosts are level 3. Fortification will defend this top lane push. As the Lifestealer's in now a dragon. Flea's gonna jump forward on top lane, and they got Ryle coming in as well. They've lifted up Zai, who's actually holding onto a gem. Oh, that is such a precious item. They can't afford to lose, but it's too late. He's dead. Gem now up on Flea. Oh no, that is a huge pickup. And Ryle's just extending his kill streak further and further, but now having a Bat Rider with Gem means that OpTic are going to be walking around blind. They're already not working with that much vision. Got an Obs here, got an Obs there, that's about it.
Top tower is under attack.
But man, that is a huge, huge pickup. 33, looking at Death Prophet. No chance for a Tiny to do anything about this by himself. Even if he like finds an Echo Saber on the floor right now, there's still no chance for him to do anything about that. And now he has to TP out. Okay, Bryle can't quite find him and lift him out of that TP. You can see the Lifestealer though being annoying as hell. Still has that Aegis, so you can play some games. It's all good, man. It's all good until this happens. You're kind of alone. 1 familiar drop, 2, 3. Down half HP, Soul Assumption, chunking him down even further.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, not really close to a kill, but oh, look at this. The Chen going to work as meantime bottom, the Warlord is going to pop the BKB, keeps him safe versus most of Ryle's damage. Bottom lane still being pushed. He gets the Doom applied to him. Now he's got to just try to fight, but it's really difficult to fight this as the Troll Warlord. You just don't have enough staying power. And now he's siphoned, and now he's hit with the Infernal Blade, and now he's dead. Tower damage, pretty substantial, honestly, but it's going to cost them Pycat. And it's going to cost them the 10-second BKB charge as well. That is extraordinarily expensive for not even a full tower. Rich is going to try to go for CC&C. Radiant's going to start ticking through those charges of the cloak. And he's doing some serious damage. But Penitence comes in, and Ritsu now, I think, a little bit too slow to keep on his targets at this point. Although Flea is coming in hot. He already used the Blink. He does have a Eul Scepter to cancel TPs. Firefly's going to last quite a long time. So I think PPD, he doesn't even have a TP, so he's just screwed no matter what. Good luck juking against this. It's going to be fairly challenging. They also lose the Satyr Tormentor. Not the Tormentor, no. PPD is really broke right now. Feels Chen, man. AUI being chased down by familiars, but this is where Vanguard and Scorched Earth show up. Taking literal no damage there, although 33 is going to come in, has a toss up, has an avalanche. This Vanguard is just holding strong against all of this. Does get a stomp out, slows some of those familiars down, tosses them back in, but here comes the Bat Rider with the Lifestealer in tow as well. They will take down the Doom, but at a pretty significant cost as Zai's going to get picked off in the meantime. CC&C now in a really bad spot. He is going to try to hide, and oh my god, he just, what? How? Flea had a little bit more Firefly, he just didn't check down here. CC&C gets a free pass, get out of jail free card. I don't know. Sometimes you just get lucky, man. Sometimes you just get lucky. Okay, well, the Visage is a magician, apparently. They could just yank him out, or wait for him to TP out once the Coddle gets out. Like, he's probably gonna live here, but god damn, I did not expect that Visage to survive against that chase. It is nighttime, so there's slightly less vision in the field right now. Oh, 33, still trying to play that space creation role. Trying to TP out, Cask is gonna be there, Death Ward as well. Poor guy. He's doing his best, man. He is doing his best to cut the creep waves, get Pycat more farm. Battle Fury Troll Warlord can skyrocket in farm, but he is a massive 3k behind that Death Prophet. And I don't know if he'll ever get to a point where he can blink on top of a DP and absolutely annihilate her. I assume Shiva's Guard is going to be in the build at some point here for Death Prophet. Probably after these travels are done. Yeah, travels are done. What do we got? Ritsu with S and Y or just S? No, it's the full S and Y. So yeah, get that extra armor on DP, and as Troll Warlord, unless you get like the luckiest of bashes, it's probably not gonna really happen. He can put a really good fight versus that Lifestealer though. The evasion's gonna be annoying for Pycat to deal with from that Solar Crest for sure. But the bash advantage is a real thing. If you're gonna get lucky enough, of course. If he gets like doomed in range form, something like that. These familiars, are they level 3 yet? No, not quite. Top lane is pushing here. DC, they oh wait, they don't have TPs, dude. No. How? Oh no. Oh no. No, this is bad. Okay, no. The Witch Doctor does. The Lifestealer is gonna jump into the Bat Rider, so they have some TPs. Okay. I was just about to say that would have been really dumb if they lost like that, but they're gonna jump in onto the Bat Riders and just keep yourself alive with the Eul Scepter for a couple more seconds. 33 also taking a lot of damage, but overall, it's gonna be Pycat isolated from the rest of the squad as Bryle, pushing the front line by himself with the Siphons, will kill off the Tiny, and then PPD, and should be Zai afterwards while taking no damage in the process. They've isolated Pycat in the background, killed him off as well. And Bryle, this unstoppable Death Prophet, charges the front lines by himself, has cheese, doesn't even get close to needing it. Tower takes another 300 damage, an almost irrelevant amount. And DC crash in really hard. There's just not enough damage coming out of OpTic. This Tiny has a single one-off combo in the Avalanche Toss, which does a decent amount of damage, but you're looking at so many heroes that need to be dealt with. That was even with initiation onto a Bat Rider, but unable to insta-give him means that he actually is able to get out of there. Eul Scepter just getting a couple seconds of invulnerability sometimes makes all the difference. And now all of a sudden the push is going back the other way. Unfortunately, Bryle does not quite yet have any sort of refresher or anything like that, so the ghosts will be on cooldown. But Ritsu, he doesn't need no ghosts. He's a strong Lifestealer that don't need no ghost, and he's just going to go straight to work on this high ground tower. Jump in, Force Staff on CC&C. Sent back to the base though, and it looks like he should be fine. Yes, he will. That was Flea's Force Staff. Sick plays from the Bat Rider. I love seeing offensive Force Staff plays. Crimson Guard goes up from AUY, but they will decide to fall back as Troll Warlord is returning. that one fight is going to get DC a 7k lead. And they will be able to back off safely. They also have a courier just chilling over Roche. 7 seconds is all they need, and 7 seconds is actually working really well with the exorcism timings. Dude, that is just working out so perfectly. It is daylight, though, for OpTic. For a little bit more here. Maybe this is how they get back in, by winning a fight in daytime. I don't see them winning a fight in nighttime. I don't think that's really feasible unless something really stupid happens from DC. They still have this daylight advantage, but their hand is going to be forced soon enough. As Roshan is perfectly vulnerable right now. Bryle probably can't do this by himself. He might be able to. It's going to really bang him if he decides to do that, though. Why do that, though? This is Roche number 3. So he uses the exorcism to kill off Roche. He'll be able to grab that shard, eat it, and then maybe even more cheese. The only thing better than 1 block of cheese is 2 blocks of cheese. And the Aegis goes on to Ritsu. This is going to be a very, very deadly push. We can see the line is drawn. Take the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane first as kind of an easy pickup. By that time, exorcism will be just cooled down naturally. I don't know where that gem is actually floating around. The gem is on Flea. Unfortunately for them, a little bit too far away from 33. Who's going to be spotted, actually? Oh, no. He's going to try TP out. Looks like no one's in a position to cancel that. So he will be fine, although it just does a little bit of damage to this creep wave. Split push has to go in full effect right now for OpTic. They got to hit the pedal to the metal on all the other lanes. And at the same time, not get picked off. A tall order, I know, but at this point, they are just in that really bad position. They just don't have any answers to this DP. They're going to go for a BKB as her next item. Still with 2 cheeses. Oh, 33. Trying to go for Flea, but Flea dodges it and now jumps it onto the Zai, who's going to be torn to shreds by Ritsu. Easy kills. Death Ward being channeled from the low ground as well, doing a lot of damage. Familiar Stun's going to keep Ritsu and Flea at bay as CCNC going to try to make his escape, but he doesn't really have that much mobility. Another open wound's coming up, and PPD is going to send him back to the base. Looks like the Visage is actually just going to be completely screwed over here. Is that not a send back? Or is it maybe the Yule Scepter, and now PPD is stuck in a corner. Standing still, accepting his fate. Feels bad, man. Can they get the courier also? That's, dude, Stanking got a triple off of that? What the hell? How did the Witch Doctor get all those kills? I don't know, but either way, it is going to be Pycat, the only hero that wasn't involved in that. The only hero to survive. And that was an Exorcism-less fight. That was a Doom-less fight. They did not use their big tools, which of course means their tools are now ready for the next engagement. Did they use any of the cheeses yet? Nope, they did not. The bottom lane is still kind of going to be pressured by OpTic. That's not really a concern. DC can outpush a singular Troll Warlord without too much of an issue here. And the push is coming in mid. Creep wave lagging behind a little bit. We'll get there at the end of the day. Tower once again under siege. Ritsu loses a little bit of mana to that, it looks like. Not much. And the creep wave is going to come in. Backdoor protection turned off. Tower down, and looks like they're going to make a clean retreat, trying to get onto some of these heroes retreating off of the bottom lane. Pycat is going to BKB, but if he TPs, okay, maybe now's a chance. He's doomed here, and he's doomed. Literally and figuratively doomed. You can see just missing his attacks on Flea. He's going to go down. Oh, I mean, their base is still alive. Their base is still alive. But unfortunately, it's not looking like it's going to be alive for much longer. Bryle purges off that mana leak. Dodges the Illuminate. Nice. And there's a DD rune here as well. Lifestealer with double damage isn't like incredible or anything like that. Death Prophet kind of the same way, but I mean, they're not gonna take it. Lots of this Lifestealer's value, just his stickiness. You just stay on someone, you just end up doing a lot of damage. Not really all about his base damage. You can see plus 105 is quite a lot of his damage output. As opposed to a double damage rune, which would give him plus 141 with great damage. It's still a decent amount, you're not going to say no, but whatever. They are going to say no this time, I guess they just didn't see it. Ritsu straight onto the range racks, and this is some permanent damage. Got ghosts out on bottom. Bryle using them really far away. Did he get pushed out by Zai? No, he was just using it on the bottom lane for whatever reason. Top lane's being pushed by 33 again, but I'm not sure if this Tiny can do quite enough here. They get the lasso off onto the Cuddle. Where's your counter push now? And 33, he does a little bit of damage onto that structure. Bryle is hot on his tail though. Yule Scepter, oof, can't quite find him in time. Everyone else making a clean retreat. Looks like DC will be fine. And free and clear, waiting up on the high ground. It's over, Anakin. You wouldn't try it, CCNC. Don't try it. Oh, no. Oh, no, he's in a little bit of trouble. His wounds are open. The blade is hit, and 33 is just going to have to watch. He's going to get Yule Scepter up. He's definitely out of this fight. CCNC is dead. 33 is under gem vision. Shrine? I don't think the Shrine is going to do much for you, bro. He doesn't have a Force Staff to get out of here. Again, Ritsu's so sticky, although he just tossed him away. And the Death Prophet ends up kind of getting stuck there, but 33 is still going to go down to the Swarm at the end of the day. Now Ritsu charging forward, looking for someone else. Buybacks are out in spades. Bryle's still holding on to this kill spree. He's, oh my god, 14, 0, and 10. I thought he would have died once by now, but I guess not. He's level 25, so he's got the extra spirits. Dude is absolutely dishing. He's also at 3,800 gold with 2 cheeses in his inventory. You know, it's a reasonable thing. Okay, maybe 0 cheeses in his inventory. Good guy, that Bryle. He's like, you know what? I'm unkillable. Let's give this cheese to someone who is actually a viable kill for the enemies. DC are playing this very cautiously. They are still 1 racks in the lead. Definitely feels like if they were just, if they felt so inclined to play more aggressively, they could be a 2nd racks up. But they're playing very safe. And I gotta say, I don't mind this one bit. Even looking at this Witch Doctor, he got the last triple kill, but he's got Glimmer and Vlad's all of a sudden. Vlad's really, really nice for that extra armor versus that Troll Warlord. And now they're going to walk right in. Flea, Gem Vision is going to grab PPD. Gets tossed back, so that actually helped PPD quite a bit. And now Flea's really isolated away. Bryle's going to come in, but they've already lost Flea. But now here comes Death Prophet. Starts siphoning that Chen. He is doomed to fall. The Doom goes on to Tiny, and he too is going to, actually get sent back. And it looks like he'll survive. No, the Doom still takes him down. I think the status resistance just screwed him there. Highcat's going to get sent back to the base. Bryle's going to TP all the way home. But yeah, the status resistance makes Doom do damage quicker. If it was doing damage slower, then it would have been the Fountain Regen to win out there. End result, DC do lose their Batrider. Yeah, Flea immediately buys back. I'm not really sure if that was necessary. But he'll have another lasso with Tiny down for a full minute. Refresher Shard still available as an option. Looks like Bryle's going to get right back on the push train and go towards mid. Probably don't even need that Refresher Shard, honestly. Like, with the Octarine, Exorcism cooldown is still long, but it's manageable. Especially if you get a pick off beforehand. Who's going to be Zai? Ooh, Flea can't quite find him. Yule Scepter once again purge off that Mana Leak. Stanking AY Bryle coming in hot now as Flea's the one to take the focus. Does still have 2 cheeses. Takes a lot of damage there. He's fine, he's still got the lasso. And now he's going to use said lasso to try to isolate CCNC. The pushback is not going to do them many favors. Ritsu's in the middle of the fight. Pycat's going to try to do what he can versus Ritsu. We can see doing absolutely no damage. Now going to focus instead onto Bryle. Gets a lucky bash, but again, not doing nearly enough damage, even with the double damage rune. I didn't even notice that DD rune. It's just such an irrelevant amount of damage. Zai's now caught. Has a Force Staff. That's actually not his. He does have a Force Staff, but he has it on cooldown. The ghosts are still out. With the Refresher Shard, they can double up on these ghosts if they feel like it. Mana Leaks are going out, Illuminates are flying, but it just does not matter. DC are going to claim a 2nd set of racks, and the fallback looks like that will just be completely clean. Everyone gets out. In fact, they all get out pretty much scot-free. Still with 1 cheese available for this Batrider. Refresher Shard is still unused. Man, at this point, just give it to AUI, right? Like, you're playing around the Exorcism timing, you might as well just not use the Refresher Shard on this guy. Oh, PPD. Well, Yule Scepter. Was that was Batrider's Yule Scepter. That was just a mistake, and now he's going to get the lasso off, but in the wrong neighborhood. Death Ward being channeled, and that will kill off the Chen. Just barely. I'm not really sure what happened there, but still, the Batrider's down for 80. They know he used buyback earlier, so they know he's fully offline. Now the toss back onto the Doom, your Ghetto Batrider from 33, but takes a lot of damage for that. They're trying to kill off the Doom, not doing a fantastic job. He's still alive as Ritsu's going to push the high ground now, along with Bryle's Ghosts. Looks like he did chow down on that Refresher Shard. Now Pycat, he will be just fine. But the Ghosts are out, and we can see, again, this super cautious play here from DC. We'll just back off, knowing that no Batrider, even though there's no Tiny, is going to be the defensive call. Incredibly defensive call. And Visage has crashed. Feels bad, man. So that's going to be Refresher Shard, honestly, kind of thrown away. Does it matter? Probably not. I mean, this DP is still an absolute monster. She's getting to a point where she could buy Moon Shards for her teammates. Lifestealer's still working with some value. They kind of will want to throw this gem back onto the Batrider. No, maybe just throw it in the base. They don't need 2 gems. But a Moon Shard out of nowhere for this Lifestealer, with, of course, the ability to go for that Bloodthorn afterwards, replacing this gem slot. Yeah, that is such a huge, huge item to pick up for Death Prophet for the Lifestealer. That'll happen in 50 seconds. In that time, by the time the Batrider gets out on the map, they should have another Exorcism available. They'll definitely have the Moon Shard consumed by the Lifestealer. And then OpTic, they have to hold their last racks. I mean, in theory, these heroes from OpTic do have enough counter push to handle Mega Creeps, but in practice, that's not going to be enough. Was the Tiny off lane? The Tiny was solo safe lane. So you could take that for what it's worth. I mean, Tiny's net worth is not looking impressive. He's kind of just on a space creation type of role here. The lanes are naturally pushed out by the Keeper of the Light, who's, again, working with quite a bit of cash. But it just seems like there's not enough damage here. What is this? Shiva's Guard / Sheepstick on CCNC, both of which are incredible, but neither of which will give them enough pushing power or punching power to just straight win fights. This is kind of what they need. They need the Doctor on that Troll Warlord, but even then, it's like the BKB is at minimum duration at this point. You can just lasso him still, and that'll just work. Exorcism, I want to say, will do more damage to the Troll than Troll can do to anyone else. Pycat is really the only hero on OpTic who is at all a threat. And that's kind of the cost of missing this timing, this early mid-game timing with the Keeper of the Light Ags, which didn't really get anything done for them. Simply because they were really far behind by the time that was even a viable way to play. So we can see DC, they are ready to move out once again. And it looks like we'll be towards Roche. That is going to be another Refresher Shard. There's going to be still 2 cheeses on the map. Yeah, there's still 1 on Flea. I wonder if you eat the first cheese first or the second cheese first. Obviously, it doesn't matter. But I wonder which one it is. Because this might be like the cheese from like 15 minutes ago. I don't know. I have no idea. Roche is forfeit here for OpTic. They're bottled up in their base. They're leaning hard on this Coddle's counter push. They're going for several sites of Vice, trying to enable Pycat, trying to make sure that there's enough disables so that he can just stand in place and right-click fools. But I'm not really sure if that's going to be quite enough. Look at this durability. Like, even if you get a Sheepstick onto, like, say, Ritsu, you'll have the Crimson Guard, you'll have the Lotus Orb, you'll have the Barrier on the pipe. Like, all those extra bonuses with the Vlad's Aura, and you're looking at a really, really tanky hero. And of course, that's going to happen for pretty much anyone. DP with the Shiva's Guard, 28 armor with the Freezing Aura. Like, you can have all these Sheepsticks, but it's not quite going to do enough. Now it's time to push the bottom lane. The line is drawn. Very, very clear what's happening here for OpTic. They know exactly what's coming. I don't know if they can do anything about this. Where's Lifestealer? He's on the bottom lane still. Flea's just pushing forward by himself with that gem, just looking to get a little bit of dewarding action, if at all possible. Or maybe a surprise jump on someone. He only has the 1 Force staff, so he can't really yank someone out from that long range. But just waiting for the creep wave, making sure that mid lane isn't pushing too terribly. Should be about a break-even lane there, so there's only top lane pushing towards the Radiant, and even then, you could sacrifice top racks to get Megas. I think that might be worth. Flea in the air now as Zai's gonna get that mana leak. Drops the gem, pushes Flea back, and they end up grabbing that Chen. Super long lasso range with the Death Ward here. PPD gets the Hand of God out, but it's not going to be enough. Zai will die and buy back. But the Chen is down with no buyback as Ryle does use that First round of Exorcism Spirits. Manalik's gonna stun the Lifestealer, but he's taking literal no damage in the meantime. The racks are starting to fall. They're going for the Ancient though. Pycat and CCNC taking down the tier 4s, going all in for it. Bryle's gonna teleport back. His Spirit's gonna run out soon though. Pycat is just gunning for it. CCNC is taking a lot of damage here as Pycat's doing what he can, but the Crimson Guard goes up. And now the Stomp from AUI. Pycat doesn't have enough damage. He's gonna go down as well. Over in the bottom lane in the meantime, still, there is a Lifestealer here, and he's running around all over the place. He has some help from Flea, but maybe not enough. Although he does get past the cheese and will eat it. Now turning around, man fighting Pycat, and just tearing him apart thanks to that Bloodthorn. Easy kill for Ritsu. Now looking for another onto the Tiny, who's going to be torn apart by Ritsu as well. A double, and that's GG. I gotta say, OpTic, that took some stones. Like, that was a dire position to be in, and they made a very aggressive call. You know, obviously it didn't work out for them. They were so far behind at that stage of the game, but like, that's the only way they win it. That is the only conceivable way they win that game, and I like that they took that shot. What is the quote? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take? I believe Michael Scott said that. I'm pretty sure. That's what I saw on the internet. The OpTic Gaming, though, a little bit off their timings, and Bryle's Death Prophet 18-0 and 16, smoothing over the power curve of that Lifestealer Radiance timing, and even then Ritsu is just going to go off at that point. So OpTic, definitely with a solid plan, but I think DC with just better mechanics and movement in the lane, AUI was just monstering the lane phase, will claim game 1 here for GESC. Again, winner of this is going to move on to the next phase to face up against Complexity or VGJ Storm. That game is going to be happening after this match has concluded, guys. So we got 2 best of 3s. This is just game 1. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be right back for the next game. Don't go anywhere.